So today we're doing Don't Worry, Darling. This movie has had a ton of backlash. We want to know, what did you think if you've already seen the movie? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Were you pumped up for it and then were disappointed? Or did you just go into it blindly? And then what was your thoughts?
I was blind. But now I see.
Exactly. So let us know in the comments what you think and tune in and see where we're at with it. So today we're doing Don't Worry, Darling, a movie that's been getting a lot of heat.
Yeah.
It's Olivia Wilde's, is it her first directorial debut?
It is, yeah.
But it is a strange movie.
But not like super duper strange. It's just on the edge of like, well, this is odd, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it was enough strangeness to keep me hooked in and pulling me through. I'm like, okay, I don't know where this is going. Where are we going now? Okay, that weird thing happened. Cool.
That's a big question mark in my book.
But basically, they kind of join this whole group and it's like a 50s style community.
Yeah.
And
but you don't know if this takes place in the 50s.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all kind of like, you don't know. It could just be, you know, because like Palm Springs, it looks like it's filmed in Palm Springs. And that has that 50s mid-century feel to all the architecture. So maybe they just like that vibe.
Yeah, but this place is called Victory, so that's their little town and all that. But yeah, it's basically 50s style stuff, like typical man goes to work, women stay home and cook, clean, do all the stuff. It's very stereotypical. Misogynistic 50s, yeah. But I think the setting of it all really pulled me in and intrigued me because, like you said, is this based in the 50s or not? And it's like you have this weird floating feeling of it all. The women are all like best friends and stuff.
It's got a very like Stepford Wives type feel to it. Like, everything is super unrealistic and like polished and perfect.
Yeah. And then you very quickly find out that there's just something not right in here. And I think you had mentioned it to me when you were watching it. You were like texting me and said, oh man, they're doing the ballet dance thing and there's something with the reflections. Something weird's happened with that. So I know this movie's just going to get messed up or something like that. So
if you haven't watched this, pay attention to reflections because I still don't know, even after watching the ending, I don't know what was going on. Like there was all this, like people weren't reflecting and then there was weird things in the reflections. And
Oh, I don't even know if I noticed the non-reflecting people.
Yeah, in the ballet scene, like one of the people's not even in the reflection.
Okay, I didn't notice that. I just I noticed like a bunch of other weird things and stuff.
Well, I noticed it because doing photography, as soon as there's a mirror, I'm like, all right, what's in that reflection? So I'm like super honed in on it. And I'm watching this, I'm like, well, this feels odd because I can see everybody else, but not this person. So where is this person in the reflection?
I think there's a lot of symbolism that happens and little hints towards like the main part of the movie, which is going to be kind of hard for us to really dive into the movie and talk about it because
without spoiling it.
So if we say anything that's spoilery, I'm sorry, but it has Florence Pugh, and actually I've been watching quite a few movies like that she's been in. I've seen Midsummer.
I still haven't seen that. I need to see that. So.
Oh man, so that's a weird one, dude. Like
being a Swede, I need to watch that movie.
Yeah, that's a weird and disturbing movie. So and it's kind of a slower paced one, but it's pretty cool. And then of course, she's in Black Widow, so she's like in the big Marvel movies now. But I just recently watched another movie with her in it on Netflix called The Wonder, and that was another really strange movie. So she has kind of like this strange, like kind of slower paced movie stuff aside from the Marvel stuff, but she seems to be drawn to like these interesting storytelling movies, which I really enjoyed. We also got Chris Pine and then Harry Styles. And I don't really understand the huge pump about Harry Styles. Do you?
I don't know. I thought he did pretty good. Like, I was actually impressed because, I just know him from One Direction or whatever, the pop band that he was in. And
is that where he's actually from?
Yeah, if someone's in a pop band, it's just like Justin Timberlake. I'm like, whatever. Until they kind of like do a solo thing or like go on SNL and you're like, I love this man because he's really funny. Same kind of thing with Harry Styles. Like, he's kind of impressed me. Like, he's a great musician. We'll put a link actually to a performance he did on the Howard Stern show in the description, because you hear that and you're like, okay, this guy's talented.
I mean, I think I might have to check it out because I don't even know if I've actually checked out his music before. I always hear about him. All the like girls in the office are like, oh, Harry Styles. I'm like, I don't get it. He's in a dress most of the time. Like, what's the appeal?
His name. It's such a great pun. Harry Styles. His hair's hairy. Only styled.
Only you would think about that.
Yeah. I wonder if that's his real name.
Probably not.
Probably not.
There's a lot of hints towards what happens. And I think that was the issue, is when people had a hard time or given this bad reviews and whatnot, it's because it's not something you totally understand at first, because it's just all these weird things coming together, like the dance, like choreographed stuff, and how it actually is like an iris, like all the legs come in and look like an eye, which is a hint towards things. And then the glass wall coming in and just smothering her, which I thought was a really cool scene. It just like showed the claustrophobia and like the strangeness of it. And then they don't really answer at all. Like it almost feels like you want an answer, but then they never talk about it. Like, she doesn't necessarily go to the dinner and say, yeah, so I just got crushed by a big old glass wall. It's like nothing ever happened. So I think that's why people have a hard time with it, is because they want answers. But
I mean, there is an answer, because in the end, you realize that it wasn't
man, self-censoring.
Yeah. So that does kind of answer it, because
it totally does when you get to the end, but you got to think about all the stuff that happened in the back. Yeah. And I don't know if people want to do that. I don't know if they want to think about all the details. They're in the moment of it.
Well,
at least those are the complaints I saw.
Yeah, I had no idea what this movie is about. Didn't see a trailer, just saw some buzz about it. And I'm like, okay, let's watch this. And watch this. So as I'm watching it, I'm trying to figure out, okay, what's going on with the reflections? Why are people like so secretly unhappy, but not wanting to show it? And why are people like committing suicide, but not committing suicide? Like, what's with the secrecy, and who are these like secret men, and like, where do they go? So there's so many questions that you're trying to answer that. Yeah.
You're like, is this a cult? What is this? Yeah. Like, because Chris Pine's character is kind of comes off as like a cult leader. And so then now you're like, is this a 50s set in the 50s, or is this like,
or is set it in Amway? It could be Amway, MLM.
Oh man, don't even get me started on that.
Is this a timeshare deal?
Right. I'll just say is no means no when it comes to Amway or timeshares. Just like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
But I personally enjoyed it. I dove into, guys, I liked it so much. I wanted to know more. It intrigued me enough to want to know more. So I feel like the movie tied up things well for me. Yeah. And I mean, if it didn't, then I don't know if I would have been as intrigued or like wanting to recommend it out to people. But I think you need to drop whatever preconceived notions you have of the film, or drop the drama that supposedly happened on set and all that. Because that's what people are talking about too. Yeah, they're talking about weird things that happen on set. I'm like, just go into the movie as a piece of art and watch it. And I think if you like Florence Pugh's other stuff that like I just mentioned with The Wonder and Midsommar, you'll probably like this, because I feel like it fits within those style movies. I almost want to say this is like if you're into Black Mirror, if you're into Black Mirror style shows or movies, this is like right up your alley.
It's not like, okay, what was the show where they're all on an island, airplane wreck?
Temptation Island.
No.
Oh, not that one?
Fire Island? No, not Fire Island. You know, there was a plane crash.
Lost.
I
loved Lost,
not
man.
like, I hated Lost. The first 2 seasons I liked, and then it was just like, we're going to try to just outdo the last season. And I'm just like, this is effing ridiculous. Like, I lost interest in Lost. I didn't even see the finale because I'm like, this is stupid.
Oh yeah, you're not missing out much. But
no. Anyways, it's not like the show Lost where you're like, what is this cloud monster? Like, it's not that bad. Yeah.
The cloud monster was kind of bad, but I accepted it.
You would.
Mm-hmm. If it's like something most people don't like, pull me in.
Yeah, Stacy didn't like this one too much, which means it's probably good.
Stacy says she doesn't like it, then you should watch it.
That's basically our rule of thumb. If Stacy hates it, it means it's pretty artistic and watchable, but you won't know what's going on.
Yeah, there's just a lot of weird layers to this movie as well, and just seeing the strange relationship of some of the wives and stuff together. It's like some seem to know more than others, and you don't find out really where these men are going. I think that's what they wanted you to guess is like, well, where are these guys going every day for work? Because they all pull out of their driveway at the same time and leave at the exact same time.
Typical men pulling out at the same time and just leave.
Yeah, and then there's like weird things where all of the wives like have the same story as how they met their husband and stuff. And you're like, how? Like, why is? You're just like,
when
what
I
is
heard
going
that,
on?
I'm like, okay, seriously, what's going on now?
Right?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like they're all like robots or something. Yeah. You know, and they all got programmed wrong or something.
Well, like you said, it had a very Stepford Wives type vibe in the beginning. So you kind of expected something weird to happen.
I say watch this.
Yeah, I say if you've seen Midsummer, you like the Black Mirror style movies or shows, The Wonder, you should also go watch that just because it's weird and different. If you like all of those, then you're probably going to really like this as well. Throw away all of your preconceived notions and just go in with a fresh mind. Yeah, and just keep your eyes open.
Just like in Clockwork Orange.
That's it for this episode. So hit up all the socials, like, subscribe, do all the cool things that we enjoy you to do or enjoy.
Leave a comment.
Leave a comment, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.